You are going to see that the periodic table of elements is one of the most important parts that you are going to have in your syllabus as you are considering this. We are going to have a lot of things to consider from there, from our periodic table of the elements. So as we are considering here that it is clearly stating that these are elements. Take note. So I want you to get back to your revisions. Remember from your grade 7 what you heard about the atoms and the elements. So this is the most important part that you are going to need first, okay, to understand this before we talk about what we are seeing on our periodic table. So just a recall, what is it that you refer to as an atom? What is it that you are referring to? What is an atom? What is it that you are referring to as an atom? What is it? So if you are able to define an atom, then it will be easier for you to define an element. Remember, an atom, we are considering this as the smallest particle. This is the smallest particle that we can ever have. All right, that's the smallest particle that of an chemical, that's of a chemical. So this is of a chemical element. All right, I just wanted to avoid this. That can exist. So we are simply talking about the smallest particle, okay, of a chemical element that can exist, meaning to say smallest particle. That's the major part that I want you to have in mind. Okay, then another thing, now we'll be able to talk about these elements. An element, what is it? All right, so let us just save this. Then we have got an element. What is it now that we are talking about here? So as you take the atom, an atom, an atom, they are combined. Same atom, same type, which is the same kind. Same type, which is the same kind. If you take them together, make up them together of the same kind, the atoms of the same kind, they build up an element. So we are simply saying an element now can be given as, all right, so since we are taking these atoms together, so you can say as a substance. So this one we can say is a substance. This one is a substance made of only, so made up of only one kind. So it is just made of one kind or type. Only one kind or type of an atom. So it is just one type of an atom, one type or one kind of an atom that is building up, that is making up an element. So if you understand this now, there we have the periodic table of the elements, which means as we are talking about this element, there is an atom to be referred there because it is made up of only one kind of an atom. So talking about these carbon is just only carbon atoms making the carbon element. if we are given, let's talk of maybe we can talk of gold. It's only gold atoms that are making up the gold element. Same type, same kind. So you must be very careful on an element is the same type. So this is what I want you to understand on your periodic table now. You are going to see this layout. These are elements that we have, all right, that we are going to use, that we are going to work with. So if you check on this, we are given this one, this two here, this three, this four, this five, this six, this seven, this eight, this nine, this 10, and so on. If you consider that in that manner, you see that it is gonna continue up to the last number that we are going to have here, which is 118, which is 118 to give us the total. This one is the total number of elements that we are going to work with. Total number of elements. So this is the total number of elements that you need to know. Where are they starting from? From the first one here on the corner here on your top left corner. The first one, it is, so this periodic table, it is giving you, let me explain it this way. If you're to consider, it classifies all the elements on Earth. Oh, so we start with the first one, which has got the lightest, which is actually the lightest element that we have. Remember, we are considering all the elements, all to the last one at 118. So we make up a total of 118. So this is the total of 118 elements on Earth that we are going to work with. Okay, so like I was explaining that these are elements that we are working with, starting with the first one, which is our hydrogen. We are going to have them in a certain order. They are not just given, say, this is hydrogen, you just take, you put copper, you put, you put whatever that you want there, gold, whatever that, no. It's not like that. So how are these elements given or presented on the periodic table? They are arranged in terms of the order of the atomic number. So this is, okay, let me explain it here so that you understand as we are moving on. So I'm saying that the elements, these elements that we are seeing there, the elements are arranged. They are arranged in order. They are not just taken, but they are arranged in a certain order, which is the order of what? Of increasing size. So that is the increasing size of the increasing atomic number. Okay. So this is what I want you to take note. Very, very important. They can even ask you this in your exams. The elements are arranged in order of increasing atomic number. So starting with atomic number 1. So these are atomic numbers that we are seeing on top of these elements. These are atomic numbers. So it's 1, So you ask yourself, where is the 2 now? Because it's 1, then I see a 3, a 4, 11, 12. Where is the 2? So if you continue along this row, all right, if you take it as a row like this, it goes to the following one. As a row like this, they do continue. As a row like this, as a row like this, as a row like this. That is how they are going to be taken. But here there's something that is happening that we're going to talk about later on. But let's start with here. So if we take this, you are going to see that this is 1, this is 2. This is 3, this is 4, this is 5, this is 6, this is 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on and so on. 11, 12. So we can even list these in that order. So this is, like I said, the first one, that is the least, which has got the least number of atoms because it's in the order of the increasing size. So the one that has got the atomic number 1 is hydrogen. So this one, he has got the atomic number 1. The atomic, remember, this is the atomic number. So this is your hydrogen. So if you move to the second one with this, with the atomic number 2, we are going to that part. And what is it that we have there? This is our helium. Okay, so there we are talking about the helium. So this is number 2 and so on. So it's going to be in that order, number 3, number 4, and so on and so on. So you're going to take these and so on. So this is number 3, which is your lithium. All right, so this is your lithium. Then this is beryllium. I don't know how you're going to pronounce this, but that is beryllium, like that. Berry like that, like strawberry part, okay? A strawberry. So this is beryllium, okay? Which has got the atomic number 4 on top. You just take what is on top. So this is about the atomic number. I'm gonna, it's gonna be, and so on and so on and so on, up to the last one that you're gonna have. So the question is, if you are to see the rows, what we have in these rows, that is where we are talking about the presentation of our I mean, there are going to be 7 rows in actual sense, if you count, which is presenting or which is giving us these elements. So we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is not that important, okay? But you just need to know that. So that is all about the atomic number and your elements up to the last one as you are taking, working with what? The atomic number on top. All right. Then also you ask yourself to say, what are these numbers that are presented in a column? If you check, there are columns. What are columns? Columns, we now talk of lines like this, vertical lines. So if you see along these columns, there are also numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These numbers, what are they actually representing up to 18, which is the last one that we are having here? What are these numbers represent? They're just on top of every column. This last column, everything is under that 18, everything is under that 7, everything is under 16, everything is under 15. As columns like this, what are they representing? These columns now, they represent the groups. These are now the groups. So there are 18 groups in all. So the columns that we are seeing there, the columns, they represent these ones, they represent the groups. So in which group that we are having group number 1, group number 2, group number 3, group number 4, group number 5, number 6, up to 18, which is the last one that we have here. So everything under this group has some certain properties that you need to understand about these columns, which are the groups now. So whenever you talk about the group, like let's say group number 3, group number 4, these groups that we have, they have got the same amount of electrons in the outer shell, causing them to have similar properties. Causing them to have similar properties because of that. They end up having similar properties. That is, they are members of the same family. These are members of a family. So if you talk of group number 3, group number 4, so you also consider, so except for this hydrogen in group number 1, these here, if you check here, there is this part that you can also talk about, like what is presented there in terms of are they metals, are they non-metals? So we've got this part which is in white, this one, and wherever you see a part which is in white, it's a transition metal, meaning it's a metal. Okay, transition metal. Then this part here, this is metal. So these metals can also be subclassified as the alkaline earth metals, the transition metals, the alkali metals. So they will be now specified, but these are metals. In this case, we are just saying these are metals that we are seeing in this part here. So, but if you can also classify here from this part, you can also classify the type of metals that you have here. Okay, so these ones, they have got special name, which is the alkali metal. Okay, then here we also have the alkaline earth metals, this part of the alkaline earth metals. So for your grade 8, this is not important for me to explain. What you need is to know is just these are metals. Then we have hydrogen is a non-metal, it's not a metal. Okay, then so this is all the colors that you see, non-metal. So this part of a light, what would you call this one? Light, a little bit light green. So these are now the non-metals, okay, that you can have. So please just do so to understand what is important for you grade 8s is that you need to know your groups. You also need to know, if you are given, at least just be able to name the first 20. Okay, just to go through the first 20 from hydrogen. You go to number 2, which is the helium. All right. Number 3, which is lithium. Number 4, which is beryllium. Okay, then we move on. Number 5, which is our boron in this case. Number 6, which is our carbon. Number 7, which is nitrogen. 8, which is oxygen. 9, which is fluorine. So this is fluorine. Okay, this is fluorine, like this. So you need to know at least. Then number 10, which is neon. Okay, so just be able to know this. Okay, at least 20, the first 20. Just do not memorize this. Okay, do not memorize this. So I'm going to bring typical questions that they are going to actually ask you, like this part that I was talking about, the issue of the periodic table. And also the other thing about metals and non-metals, all right? If we saw from this part that we are, because this is concluding all metals and non-metals, if we check this part, which is this light, how do you call this color? Light blue. So the list is just this color, this one. This is for metals, okay? So we also have some metals which are also on this part here. These are also part of what? Part of the metals, okay? Then let's check the part of our non-metals. So the non-metal, which is this, are you seeing the color? Let me increase so that you can see on your diagram also this one. So this is for your non-metal. So if you check on the non-metal, we are talking about this part here. This is the part of our non-metal, this part. Okay, that is where we are having our non-metal. The carbon, the nitrogen, the oxygen, all this part. So if you check the metals, they are a little bit on the, effect, they are on this side. This is compared to where the non-metals are. So they can even ask you to say which side comparing metals and non-metals. So if you check, metals will be on the left side, the non-metals will be on the right side, all right? So you can also